So, are IT certifications worthwhile doing? Well, in my opinion, yes. Bye. Seriously though, my answer is yes, but it's one of those yes but kind of yeses. Now, before I dive in, let me get two things out the way right now. Firstly, there's going to be the presumption that a yes answer benefits me as it will encourage you to watch my videos. Although that may be true to an extent, I want you to make the decision for yourself that yes is worthwhile to you. So if you do want to watch my videos, or anyone else's for that matter, because of this, it's by your informed choice. Secondly, there's a lot of people out there that believe IT certifications are not worth doing and are a massive ripoff. If you're of that opinion and you're not open-minded to listen to the other side of the debate, then rather go spend this time watching something else that you'll enjoy more. Now, if your mind isn't made up, let's continue. The purpose of IT certifications is meant to be validation that you possess a minimum level of knowledge and even skill with a given technology or niche within IT that is considered currently relevant. Let's explore that and look into it from a few different perspectives. The minimum level isn't a negative thing. It tells people, especially hiring managers in HR, that you have enough useful stuff in your head that you passed a certification exam and thus got the cert behind your name. You probably know and can do more than what that certification exam tests, but it still gives a baseline that others can rely upon. As far as being currently relevant, most IT certifications expire after some time. Some as long as 5 years, some as short as 1 year, with the average sitting around 3 years. This can be a bit frustrating to people like you and me, as we either need to rewrite it when it expires, do more certifications that build on what we already have, or something else depending on the vendor. Again though, this helps others, especially potential employers, know that your knowledge and skills is relevant to the technology in use right now, and not something from years or even decades ago. Now, I personally don't get too fazed by the expired certifications. To me, it just means that someone hasn't proven to the certification vendor that their knowledge and skills are up to date. It's not like you wake up the day after a cert expires and someone came in the night and sucked all the knowledge out of your head. But you must put yourself in the potential employer's shoes. They rely on certifications proving you have relevant knowledge and skills. It's like a lot of people who have driving licenses. At some point, they drove well enough to pass a driver's exam. However, as time goes on, they become absolute morons on the road. I know, I'm one of them. Now, I hear you saying, but Darkbird, I'm studying for a degree. That's wonderful, and I mean that. I want you to carry on with that and get that tertiary qualification, because what you learn there will serve you a lifetime. But I want you to consider this: a bachelor's in IT, a bachelor's in computer science, a bachelor's in computer systems. What's the difference? And what would somebody with one of these qualifications know and be able to do compared to the others? Now stop writing that comment. Think for a moment as though you were going through resumes and CVs of job applicants. You may not be as familiar with those qualifications and their differences as someone in the field. You're in HR or a recruiter after all. You deal with finding the candidates for a large variety of positions. So what can you do to sort through and find the best fitting job candidate? You could ask the employer for a list of technical requirements or competencies, and then investigate what courses and subjects made up the degree program someone did. Oh wait, different colleges and universities might cover different subjects for the same degree name. Or they might cover the same subjects but in different ways. And then when you look internationally, it gets even crazier. A bachelor's degree in computer science may not be as standardized as you'd like. There's a reason where you get your degree from matters somewhat. Now, if the employer says that they want someone with a certain certification from, let's say, Microsoft, that gives the recruiter a much easier time when sifting through hundreds or even thousands of applicants to shortlist for the best fits. Now again, if you're studying for a degree right now, don't let what I just said discourage you. Keep at it. But if your college or university doesn't have some IT certifications as part of the degree program, consider supplementing your future degree with some IT certifications to help make you stand out or help tick some boxes. Just don't put yourself into an unrecoverable financial situation to do it. Now this leads us on to the costs. One of the downsides of IT certifications, and probably the burr under many people's saddles who dislike IT certifications, These exams can be expensive to do. Adding to that, you may need to purchase study material or even attend training focused on that certification, both of which add to the costs. Worse yet, there is the possibility of failure, which means incurring at least another exam purchase. And the icing on this unpleasant cake is that expiration again. You need to spend money either redoing and renewing the certification or building on it to trigger a renewal. Some would argue that certification vendors perpetuate this horrible cycle, that you need to get these certs to get a job, and the certs cost money to get, and you have to spend the money to maintain them somehow. I won't disagree with that argument. But money does make the modern world work, for better or for worse. And everyone needs to eat, and everyone has to work somewhere to try and do that. Then we get the questionable value of the certs proving knowledge. Some people study for a certification, and some people learn for a certification. I personally consider these to be two separate ways of internalizing knowledge. When you study, you are committing things to memory in the hope that enough of what you remember will appear in the exam for you to recall, regurgitate, and pass. With some luck, some of that will even stick in your brain, but probably not much of it. When you learn, you decide you want to understand the concept and flesh it out with the relevant details. You internalize it, and when asked a question on it, you can answer most, if not all things, with a little thought and consideration. What's even better is that when you learn instead of studying, the knowledge stays with you far better and will be much easier to refresh and update as things change and evolve. This makes learning the new things a lot easier. IT is a lifelong learning thing. In fairness though, exam preparation is a mixture of both. But I lean heavily towards learning for understanding rather than studying to remember. The only thing I would study would be the asinine details that I may need to regurgitate for an exam, but in the real world, I would look it up if I wasn't sure. An example would be TCP port numbers. So revisiting the original question, should you do an IT certification? If you understand the role, it serves both you and employers as a globally standardized recognition of relevant knowledge and skills. If you accept that you must learn and internalize as much as study for these certifications, if you are fine with the financial costs of them, if you accept and appreciate that these certifications expire, if you want to improve your chances of getting that job you want, then yes, it's worth you considering doing an IT certification. Now it's up to you to decide. You need to work out where you are and where you want to be career-wise. You need to work out what will get you there. You need to work out the financials, and please don't take on debt if you're not fully committed to your decision. I'm an IT professional and a trainer, not a financial advisor. Again, my opinion is that these certifications are worth doing. They improve your chances at landing that job, that increase, or that promotion that you want. But they are not the golden ticket to those things. You are your own golden ticket if you choose to be. Otherwise, I would like to say thank you for watching. I hope this helps you make a more informed decision about doing an IT certification. And I hope to see you in another video.